Alright guys, what's up? Today we are looking at a newish type holster that I've been running for about the past 2 months that I've pretty much fully committed to and switched over to for the Glock 19. This is the Tier 1 Concealment, the Axis Slim model. And basically what we have here, like a brief synopsis, is just like a front run Appendix rig with a mag caddy also attached to it that you can detach. Not too long ago I took a couple of different pistol classes, one back in March, one back in July, and in these classes there was like a few hours of instruction on low light, no light, and basically running the class with a pistol light and then running it with like a handheld. I quickly determined that running a pistol mounted weapon light is far superior than just using a handheld. It just made it a lot easier, a lot faster. I could be more accurate, handle the gun better. So I pretty much made the decision to switch from the current holster at the time that I was using, which was for my Glock 17, just a very minimalist, kind of slimmed down. It was a Green Force Tactical Berkut 2 holster, which is still a fantastic holster, but for reasons unknown, I just kind of felt like running my Glock 19, since I've hardly ever carried it or shot it. I always ran, either carried something different or, preferably the 17, but I was kind of jonesing to take my 19 through classes. I decided again, after taking a couple of courses with low light, no light, that it was a damn good idea that from now on I need to I wanted to become dedicated to running a pistol light, since I've never really ran one before, or at least not consistently. So this holster kind of pretty much answered those questions and served those needs. Plus, like, this isn't something that I would have normally would be like attracted to as far as like a rig or a setup, but one of the instructors at one of the classes was running this exact same setup with the same gun, same light, so I tried it out. And then a very close friend of mine, Dylan, who I take classes with all the time, he bought a setup after that class and he's been running it, and I got to try his out, and I'm like, you know what, I think every prejudgment I made about this kind of setup and this particular brand of holster, I was wrong. So yeah, so I've been running it for 2 years, or God, no, not 2 years, 2 months, sorry. Been running it for 2 months, and honestly, I'm sold. I'm content. I pretty much knew it like the first day. I got in the car and drove 90 miles, 35 or excuse me, not 90 miles, 90 minutes, about 40-45 minutes each way to where I go shoot. And I was, after pretty much just 1 day of practicing with it and 1 day of being in the car, I was pretty much sold. So I don't know, whenever I get inside, I'll take it off and we'll take a closer look at it, and I'll talk about the features. Here I just wanted to kind of initially show this off, and and how it prints. I guess I'm wearing a sweatshirt, which it's not really going to show too much now, but it does a pretty good job. It would do better if I wasn't such a fat ass. Like, I have somewhat of a gut, and my gut tends to want to push the gun out like that, which there's some like measures taken that in the design of this holster that kind of help combat that. But if I would actually commit myself to losing my gut, it would actually fit and ride and carry better. But I'm okay with that. With that and like a fixed blade knife up here, I don't know, I'm not one of those people who tend to cry and worry and fret and lose sleep over printing a little bit. I think it's kind of a made up problem that guys make too big of an issue out of. So yeah, other than that, I guess there's not too much to say until I get inside, where I guess it's not so bright and there's not so many shadows around. Like I said, I'll take off the holster, let you guys take a look at it and get up close and personal with it, and pretty much go over the features. But I just wanted to show it initially, how it rides, how it sits on me on a fat ass, and just kind of like maybe like a few demonstrations of how it draws and stuff. And I definitely like having the mag caddy up front, the mag right up front next to it, because it's easy to get to either hand. I don't have to have a special pocket holster for my spare mag, which I usually do, or put it like in a dedicated mag holder on my belt line. It's just everything's right up front, and I'm digging it so far. So let's go. Alright, so here's a little bit of an up close and personal with this rig now that I got it out of the pants. As you can see, it's definitely a little bit more Kydex that I'm used to running, since I'm used to running like a minimalist setup. This being an Appendix rig has a few features that some of my other holsters don't have. One being this claw. This is for when it goes inside the pretty much the waistline of your pants, just behind your belt, and it helps push the gun, the butt of the gun, back into your abdomen area. You see here this different connection. You know what, maybe it's easier if I just take this stuff out here. So, alright, we'll get a little bit closer here. Alright, so here's your mag caddy right here. You see you have two, I guess I call them J hooks. Historically, I've been pretty hard on hooks and any kind of clips. These kind of have made me a believer. I still think that soft loops with snaps are better, but these go so far underneath, right about there. These go so far underneath your belt and hook on, and there's a lot of pressure on them, and they seem pretty robust. So, but anyway, so basically you have like a two-piece design, kind of modular, and you could disconnect this piece. There's a model that connects the mag caddy to the main body of the holster with snaps. I like this one a little bit better. It uses elastic, like bungee cord or whatever, so it kind of tends to flex with your body a little bit. It doesn't move too much, but at least there's some give. One kind of holster that I don't like is when it's just mono, you know, what am I trying to say? One single piece, and it doesn't have any give or any flex. So I just, you know, you have a bunch of different color options too. I just went with OD and black. But that's pretty much it. Doesn't weigh a lot. It's not too bulky. Everything's smoothed out. It's not very sharp at all. Trying to think what else. Your J hooks here can be moved up a notch. That would make the gun actually ride a little bit lower. I like it on the very bottom rung with these clips. That way it makes the gun ride high as possible. Helps with a good master grip. So as you can see, that's a G19, a spare mag with a kind of a big old fat Streamlight TLR. So that's a decent amount to carry, but it's made pretty easy to handle the load in this thing. So like I said, this is a lot more Kydex than what I'm used to, but since it curves naturally with the body and flexes right here, it's a lot easier to, handle the weight. And since the clips are somewhat a little bit spread apart, it distributes the weight pretty easily. So that's probably the number one thing about that holster that I like, is that it spreads the weight out and distributes it evenly, and it makes the gun ride higher, which also helps, if you don't know, for those people who don't Appendix carry. When you get in and out of cars, when you're sitting down or at a restaurant or a table or whatever, you have a tendency to make it more comfortable. You pull the whole rig with the gun up a little bit, more towards your belly instead of down below. Otherwise, it's just going to get down beneath your pant line and twist and pinch and dig you and pretty much make you hate life. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Down and dirty, up close and personal with it. So you kind of have to decide for yourself whether or not you want to dedicate yourself to carrying a gun with a light and a spare mag all in one central location. But for me, it works.